Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're going to talk about unlocking this really powerful secret to health and, well, longevity. It's a practice with super ancient roots, but it's got a very modern name: intermittent fasting.
So that little rhyme right there, that simple idea is really the core of what we're going to dig into today. It kind of sets the stage for this whole structured way of eating, one that promises not just a healthier life, but maybe, just maybe, a much longer one too.
Okay, so let's start with a problem that I think we all know too well. Our lives are just hectic, and trying to stay healthy in the middle of all that chaos, it can feel totally impossible, especially when you're just buried in all this conflicting advice, right?
Yeah, and our source material really puts a finger on something we can all feel in our bones. Our lifestyles have changed a lot. We're moving less, our eating habits are all over the place, and it's led to this big spike in all these issues. We're talking about everything from major diseases to just feeling drained and tired all the time.
And that, of course, brings us to the million-dollar question. What is the right way to eat? I mean, you've heard it all, I'm sure. Eat every few hours to keep your metabolism humming. Then the next person says, no, only eat twice a day. It's no wonder we're all just completely confused.
So, is there a way to cut through all of that noise? Well, the solution that's proposed in our source is this idea of a master key to this whole health mess. And you guessed it, that key is intermittent fasting.
Okay, so what is this thing really?
Well, at its core, intermittent fasting, or IF, it's not a diet like you normally think of one. It's not about banning carbs or fats or anything like that. Instead, it's all about when you eat. It's an eating pattern that cycles between your eating times and, periods of voluntary fasting. Now, the most popular way people do this is something called the 16-8 method. And I know it sounds kind of like a secret code, but it's actually super simple. It just means you fast for 16 hours, and then you fit all of your meals into the other 8-hour window. Let's break down how that actually works.
And what's so cool about this is how flexible it is. So you've got the 16-8 method, which a lot of people do every single day. Or you could try something called the 5-2 method. That's where you eat normally for 5 days of the week, and then on just 2 of those days, and they don't even have to be back to back, you do that 16-hour fast.
Okay, let's make this really practical. Picture this. You finish dinner by, say, 8 p.m. That's it. You're done eating for the night. You fast all night and through the morning. Now, the source says you can still have things like water, green tea, maybe even some buttermilk. And then, at 12 p.m. the next day, you break your fast with a totally normal, balanced lunch. See? It sounds way more doable when you put it like that. But why does this even work? This is where it gets really, really cool. To get why the benefits are so huge, we've got to zoom in and look at what's actually happening inside your body, down at the cellular level when you're fasting.
All right, the star of this whole show is a process called autophagy. The best way to think about it? It's like your body's own internal cleanup crew. When you fast for a good chunk of time, you give your body the chance to flip the switch on this process. Your healthy cells literally start hunting down and recycling old, damaged, and junky cells.
And this is the really crucial part. Autophagy isn't just tidying up. It's giving you this powerful 2-for-1 deal. First, by clearing out all those damaged cells, it helps lower the risk of them going rogue and becoming cancerous. And at the exact same time, this deep clean acts like a natural detox. That's why so many people say they feel so refreshed and clear-headed.
But wait, there's more. It's not just about autophagy. Fasting kicks off this whole cascade of other incredible effects. We're talking stimulating your body's own DNA repair mechanisms. It can even lengthen your telomeres. Those are like the little protective caps on your DNA. And that's a huge marker for living longer. Plus, your hormones start working for you. Leptin, the hunger hormone, goes down. Adiponectin, a hormone that fights off stress, goes up. It's amazing stuff. Okay, so all that cellular science is just mind-blowing, right? But what does it actually mean for you in your day-to-day life? Let's talk about the payoff, the real, tangible results you can actually see and feel. And look, the results can be really profound. A lot of people notice the weight loss first because their body finally gets a chance to burn stored fat for fuel. But the benefits go so much deeper than that. That whole cellular cleanup we talked about, that leads to more energy, better heart function, and it even gives you this powerful layer of protection against some of the diseases we worry about most.
Okay, but before you get all excited and jump right in, our source is super clear about something important. We need a little dose of reality here. Because while the benefits are, yes, incredible, those first few days can be a real challenge.
And it's really important to be honest about this adjustment period. In the beginning, you might get headaches. You might have some pretty serious hunger pangs. You might just feel kind of weak as your body figures out what's going on. This is all totally normal.
But here's the key thing to remember, and it's really a message of encouragement. All that stuff, it's temporary. Those are just the signs that your body is adapting. If you can push through that first phase, that feeling of weakness gets replaced by a feeling of energy. And that's when the real long-term benefits start to show up.
And this little poem really sums up the ultimate promise of this whole practice, doesn't it? If you want to stay healthy and live a long life, fasting is a path to get there, with the good stuff showing up day by day. It definitely takes some patience, but the reward, well, it's a life that isn't just longer, but one that's genuinely, truly healthier.
And that leaves us with just one final, powerful question to chew on. In our big quest for better health, have we been so focused on what we eat that we've completely missed something just as important, maybe even more important? When we eat. It's something to think about. Thanks for joining us on The Explainer.